Oh! Okay. So, you guys know, I told you in my videos that I started on the Hayabusa. I started on a leader bike. And I had no previous experience with motorcycles before I took my training course. So I took my training course 1 year, and then the next following year I didn't ride any bikes until the next year when I bought my Hayabusa. So I posted a video about that, about how I started on the Hayabusa, and I also posted videos on how you can or how you should, why you should start on a leader bike, and I give you my views and my points and everything. So I figured I actually show you what I did to successfully learn on a leader bike. And when I mean successfully, I mean I haven't crashed. I mean near misses, I really haven't had any serious, nothing more than your regular driving experiences. So I figure I show you a video. I'm probably gonna break it up into maybe two, maybe three parts about how to start on a leader bike. Okay, so step one is obviously, I'm assuming you're taking your training course. So step one is bring your bike to a isolated area, like this area right here, the street. It's not a really main street. Nobody coming up and down it. I consider it a stoplight, and nobody's even coming behind me. So it's really quiet, residential neighborhood. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up and down the street, up and down, just to get comfortable with the power and the sensitivity of the bike. Because you don't want to get your bike with that little experience and getting on the main road. I mean, look, you're already doing something that most people say you shouldn't by riding a leader bike for your first bike. So let's do it right. My motto in life is, if you're gonna do wrong, do it right. So obviously make sure you're gassed up. Obviously wear your gear, but I have to warn you, you're gonna get hot. The reason being is we're not gonna be going that fast, or you're not gonna be going that fast. You shouldn't be. I would say stick to a no more than 40-mile-an-hour zone, but most residential streets don't really go that high. This one's gonna be 25 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour, which is very comfortable. But the bike's gonna heat up because it's not really good for sitting around in traffic. And don't worry, when you get good at the bike, your bike will almost never overheat or feel hot unless you're in stop and go traffic. But for right now, we're gonna be riding around a residential area for a long time because we're going up and down and up and down. So it's gonna be, my fan's gonna turn on. When you're regularly riding, your fan will almost never turn on, because you're moving. But for your beginner stages, it's gonna get hot. Your seat's gonna get hot. Now this video is not just for a Hayabusa to learn on, but also for any leader bike. So let's get started. What would I suggest? Alright, so we turn the bike on, get it started. And when you're starting on a leader bike, until you get comfortable starting off the throttle, right? Starting off with the throttle by itself, the throttle and the clutch, until you get comfortable with that friction zone, start out just with the clutch. Just let it accelerate with just the clutch. It'll go about 5 to 7 miles an hour with just the clutch. You can ride it with just the clutch. All right, so we got the clutch, right? Just clutching it. And what I would suggest is, whenever I clutch it, I hold my hand on the gas and then 2 fingers right here, and I kind of push it forward a little bit. So if something happens, you can clutch it and stop. Right? So clutch it. You may feel like you already know this stuff, and you probably do, but this is a totally different bike than your beginner bike. You gotta take it easy. Now, actually, I'm gonna stop again. I'm gonna tell you something about your gas, about your acceleration. And I'm turning the bike on and off because it gets hot. So when I'm stopping, I'm gonna just turn it off. What you do is, you see this bar right here? I'm not sure if every bike has this. I'm assuming that most stock bikes do. You see this little end bar? This is stationary. This twist is a turbo. This is stationary. This bar is always stationary because it does nothing. It's just the handlebar. If you're not comfortable with the amount of sensitivity and the power on the throttle, which I wasn't, here's what I did. What I did was I put my palm right here, and I rested it right here, right? And then I took my fingers and twisted it. I held my finger right there and just twisted it with my fingers just a little bit. You'd be surprised how much power you get just from twisting your fingers like that, until you get comfortable with it. So I'll show you. Because grabbing a fistful, you know, you'll pull, and then when you get pulled back from the power by accident, your hand twists it further, and that's why you see a lot of people lose control of a bike. And like I said, you probably already know how to do all this stuff with your bike you had in class, but this is totally different. A lot more power, a lot more torque. As far as power is concerned, everything you heard about these leader bikes is true. They are that insanely powerful, but you can handle it, and I'm showing you how. So start it up, put it in first, clutch it out. Oh. I didn't clutch it out enough. I haven't done this in a long time. I know how to ride, so screw y'all. So, alright, here's my fingers. So use my fingers, and if it catches up, let go. I know it seems stupid, but you're gonna have to do a lot of stupid stuff. You're learning on a fast bike, so screw what everybody else thinks. You know, because most of them never learn on a Hayabusa. You are. So I'm showing you just what you gotta do. Alright, so try that and see if it works with your fingers. Alright, now we're gonna get moving. What we're doing is, that truck just went through a yellow light, and that car. Go ahead. So 25 miles an hour zone. This is a sweet spot for you. It's all you need. 25 miles an hour. And by the way, don't one-hand it. How you doing, sir? Don't one-hand it. Don't try to act cool, act like you know what you're doing, because you don't. Trust me, when I first started out, I was clutched up like this, squeezing it, at the Kung Fu death grip. I was like, going up the third. This right here scared me, going 25 miles an hour, because it's so sensitive. But I got used to it. So 25 miles an hour, just ride it. Man, got a nice bike out there. Thought he did. So 25 miles an hour, just cruise it. Shift through up the gears. Go up the third, shift the fourth, downshift. It may seem like a simple thing, but I was scared to downshift, because when you start getting good, you can downshift a second on the freeway doing 70 miles an hour. So it helps to get used to that feeling of downshifting. And when you downshift, it's got a 600. Like, first gear, second gear, upshift to third gear. Now I'm at 30 miles an hour, downshift to second. And you're doing this stuff just to get comfortable. And this is the best environment to do it, because long straight road, no lights, no stop and go. You know, I don't have to worry about cars rushing me. Now we at 35 mile an hour zone. Okay? It's time here. And a good thing to do too, to get comfortable with your bike, is start swerving. Start counter steering. I'll explain what counter steering is in a different video, but if you got your license by now, you should already know what it is anyway. So start counter steering. Just push that part in. And counter steering is, most of it is your hands pushing the steering wheel, not your body moving. So just go left to right just to get comfortable with moving around. Because I notice a lot of guys who start out, they're real stiff. You know, they don't want to move. So just get comfortable, go side. But make sure you're in a road that doesn't have gravel. Don't be doing this around a doing this on a road that has a lot of rocks and loose stuff. This road is nice and smooth, so I feel comfortable doing it. And try to stop swerving when you see a car coming. It makes them feel uncomfortable. And you don't want to swerve and get hit. So back and forth. And I'm turning around in this school. So back again, over down the road, and every time you accelerate, try to accelerate a little bit quicker each time. But you know, just move around a little bit. You got room, nobody's coming. Just feel it. Just comfortable with it. It's a heavy bike, so you gotta learn how to whip it. This may seem boring, but you'd be surprised how much this will improve your skills. Because when you get on the road with people, you gotta feel comfortable with just going. You can't wait, you can't hesitate. You know how traffic is? It's scary when you're in a car, it's that much more scary when you're on the bike. So you gotta have a level of confidence with this in regular traffic. So build up your skills on the back roads first. When I first started, I drove a lot on my way to work, and I would drive sometimes early in the morning, sometimes late at night when nobody was on the road, and that built my skills up so quickly, and I was so comfortable doing it because nobody was around. No, 25 miles an hour, I'm speeding. Now when you downshift, it's going to be a big jerk. That's called engine braking. Your engine is slowing your bike down without brakes. So I'm going to chop this video up and make another one about more tricks about how to start on a liter bike. All right, stay tuned for part 2.